in South Africa. As I speak with you now, we have 640 Nigerians voluntarily registered to come home, and they will be home in a couple of days. And we believe that more will still be coming to register, but right now we have 640. That means 2 planes will convey them home starting from a couple of days. Now, again, with the envoy will be briefing the president. So with the envoys briefing to the president and having everything in place, Mr. President will be taking a few more decisions, but we have to wait for the briefing from the envoy. But in the meantime, we continue to demand compensation for Nigerians that have been attacked in South Africa. And also, we know that 8 policemen have been charged to court for their involvement in killings of Nigerians in South Africa, and I think 4 more have been recently arrested. We are demanding that these investigations must end so that we can know exactly what is happening. So as it is now, the moves taken by government, Nigerians in South Africa are very excited about it and happy about it, and we continue to reiterate Mr. President's directive that no Nigerian should be treated anyhow anywhere in the world. So we continue to work on that and assure Nigerians, wherever they are, that this government will continue to come to their aid. As for Nigerians in South Africa, they've also been advised to remain calm. There are some shops in volatile areas. They've been advised, don't open your shops at this point in time while we continue to engage and ensure that we get justice for all Nigerians affected. And again, like we said, we continue to demand compensation from South Africa for what has happened to our Nigerians. And don't forget that also the woman that was killed that went for a conference, Ms. Elizabeth, was still waiting for the results of the investigation. They promised us they will get us the results, and we're waiting for the results. And also there must be consequences for actions. If policemen or your people go out killing people and nothing happens to them, then it will continue to happen. So South Africa should continue to show the political will to talk to their people to put a stop to it. I would believe that a lot of education, a lot of awareness needs to go down to the South African on the street who still believes that the foreigners are their problem. So engagement is important. Education and awareness is also very important. So we'll be working a lot with the Senate Committee on Diaspora to ensure that we carry out Mr. President's mandate that no Nigerian should be treated shabbily anywhere in the world. Nigeria will be there for them. And we guarantee you that every Nigerian that wants to return from South Africa will be returned. So when we receive the first 2 batches, we'll also know how many more are ready to come, and then we'll ensure that everybody comes back home voluntarily. Free emergency travel certificates. That's part of why there's a delay. So those that their business and passports have expired will be getting emergency traveling certificates. And then when they come back, well, they went on their own, they're coming voluntarily. And they all belong to states and all that. On the part of government, we have the JIP program that will encourage them to enroll with, small-scale entrepreneurial programs that will encourage them to enroll with the back of the industry, with the social investment program. So there are things that they can do. So we will make sure we have their details and work on that, but we'll still demand that South Africa needs to pay compensation for Nigerians in South Africa whose businesses have been destroyed. So the political will. We've heard from the president that this will stop, but they need to show the political will that this has to stop. And doing that means, those who perpetrated this crime need to be punished. There must be consequences for actions. So if you say cases are in court, let the cases end. So if nobody is punished for killing foreigners, killing is a crime. It's a criminal offense, and it should be treated that way. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will continue to engage his counterpart in that regard, but Nigeria will demand that. African policemen are in court over the killings of Nigerians in South Africa over a period of time. Now, the case has been on for a while. We're saying that when will the case end? Now, 4 policemen have been arrested in the recent killing of a Nigerian not too long ago that was killed in his house. They've also been arrested and been tried to court. In the case of Ms. Elizabeth, the case has been upgraded to a high-profile case being handled by a Brigadier General. We're saying that let these cases end and let's know what actually happened. That is true. No, 8 policemen are in court over incidents of the past. Previous incidents. Now, the Buhari administration has actually been engaged. That's the first time that South Africa is charging its policemen to court. So 8 have been in court, well over 6-7 months now. that they've been in court. What we're saying is that let the case end. Let us know the result. But for this particular issue in South Africa, no Nigerian life was lost, but properties were damaged. And then another thing is the issue of fake news. We had fake videos circulating. Somebody just brought a video from nowhere in the world and said, this is MTN being burnt, and it is not true. So to the media, and to Nigerians, let's be discerning. Fake news can only destroy, not build. So a lot of fake pictures in circulation, fake videos in circulation, which we also have to discountenance let's agree that something. This is about Africa. Whether it's South Africa or Nigeria, this is about Africa and building the African continent. Now, let's take the move taken by government is appropriate, it's going to work, and then we take it from there. At the same time, let's remember that we need to build love and friendship, not hatred. So we take it from there. The move taken by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the President is very commendable, especially by Nigerians in South Africa, and we have to ensure that no Nigerian life is lost in any way, anyhow.
Yeah, the Senate Committee on Diaspora, non-governmental organization and civil society organization called this meeting with the leadership of the Diaspora Commission, and we are grateful that the chairman of the commission came here with the leadership of that commission. We have been briefed as to what has been transpiring in South Africa in terms of the attack on Nigerians and also the step that has been taken. As we have been briefed, there has been a quantum leap from what it used to be when no action has been taken on the part of the South African government. So far, some South African policemen are already on trial for acts perpetrated in the past, and the high-level body has been set up to investigate the death of Ms. Elizabeth Chukwu, who died in our hotel room, being on conference in South Africa. In this regard, just as we were briefed by the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the chairman of the commission had also briefed us that the envoy is back in Nigeria, presently briefing Mr. President on the meeting between the envoy and the President of the South Africa. And also, it is after this that we'll be able to know what further action will be taken by the President on how to tackle the matter. I will also assure that the strategic objectives of this effort by the Nigerian government are still in focus. What are these objectives? One, to ensure that the South African government live to its responsibility of protecting life and property within its territory as required as a state, and therefore they should be able to also pay compensation to Nigerians whose property have been damaged from the incident that has occurred. We are also further assured that the options on the table are much in such a way to achieve the strategic objective of ensuring that there will be no repeat of what has happened. And of course, in terms of taking a precautionary method to protect the life of Nigerians, a register had been opened for which Nigerians who voluntarily elect to return back to the country have signified their interest, and effort is on to ensure that they are brought back to the country, both with the effort of the private airline, and also the government will also see what it can do in that regard. Of course, in terms of documentation, the relevant travel certificates will be issued for those whose passports had expired to ensure that they come back to the country. And of course, there is also travel advisory on the part of the South African mission, our mission in South Africa, to ensure that Nigerians even know where to go to. The incident in South Africa is not occurring in every nook and cranny of South Africa. It's localized, and want to ensure, in order to mitigate whatever disaster may occur, that Nigerians should avoid as much as possible those red areas, spending the time that the matter would be resolved finally. Then, of course, you will also know, yes, there is such effort, but you will know that presently the Senate is on recess. We have to cut down on our recess to be able to attend to this national emergency. Of course, there's the interparliamentary union, and the communication is being made to ensure that the issue is also raised at parliamentary level. But you must know these matters are more of matter at the executive level, because they involve, as far as we are concerned, issue of rule of law, and there are also issue of political will of the South African government to ensure that rule of law is maintained in their society. So in as much as we are relating with the parliament in South Africa, we must know clearly that this is a tough, that executive action is much needed. And that is why what we do is to get briefing from our own executive arm, give necessary advice, and to give whatever legislative support that may be required in order to ensure that they carry out that mandate. The issue of a separation of power actually dictates the level at which every level of government will be able to act. Thank you, sir.
And just sometimes where you're running to is worse off than where you're running away from. And we continue to educate Nigerians in that regard. Sometimes you are going somewhere, but it's worse over there than the country that you're running away from. So, and this administration is doing everything possible to make Nigeria a better country to live in. So we continue to educate our people in that regard, and so that you don't go to wrong places. And we'll also be issuing more advisories as to what to expect, where to go to, and what to do.